What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about a stock that I've gotten asked about several times on this channel, and it is Intuit. This is a stock that has definitely been a victim a bit of the so-called SaaS apocalypse, the fear that AI is going to devalue tons of these software companies, is going to ruin the moats that they have. And for Intuit, ticker symbol INTU, we see that not even a year ago, the stock was trading over $800 a share, and now it's not even $300. If we look over the past 5 years, still doesn't look all that much better, down almost 50% over 5 years. So we're going to try to see, is there value here? What does the risk reward of Intuit look like today? And as always, if you get value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to grab my Google Sheets template for analyzing stocks, or if you want to join my Discord, then consider following me on Patreon. Link to that will be down below. Now, let's get started. And in case you're not familiar with Intuit as a company, you probably are familiar with their products. They make TurboTax and QuickBooks. They also have Credit Karma and MailChimp, but certainly QuickBooks and TurboTax, that's what I think many people will know Intuit for. Now, to give you a sense of the scale of the different products, QuickBooks is basically the majority of this company. QuickBooks Online accounting is about almost 25-ish% of revenue. QuickBooks Desktop accounting, almost 10%. But then online services is kind of QuickBooks adjacent things like QuickBooks payroll, payments. I think they're putting MailChimp in there as well. But this is mostly related to QuickBooks, and that's another 20 to 25% of revenue there. TurboTax is only, if you add in this pro tax segment as well, it's only about 30-ish% of revenue. And Credit Karma is adding, a little over 10 as well. So those are significant, but in order of importance for Intuit, it goes QuickBooks and then TurboTax. Now, as a consumer, we've used QuickBooks for my small business for over a decade, but recently we actually moved away from QuickBooks. And I think it's important to talk about why, because if you're investing in Intuit, you're basically making a bet that the future of QuickBooks and TurboTax is going to be good. I mean, if you look historically, what's happened with revenue here, revenue is just a hockey stick up and to the right. Profit, operating income, all up and to the right. They've just been monetizing these products more and more and more. It looks like the company is doing incredibly well. So why did we move away from QuickBooks? I think I'll just read to you a comment that I wrote on my Discord to a user back on April 10th of this year. I said, the growth that Intuit has seen recently is mostly from increasing prices, fees, and migrating users to QuickBooks Online and not primarily from user growth. I don't think they can keep increasing prices without losing customers like me to competitors. Eventually, the alternatives become good enough to not have to deal with Intuit. I may be biased as I'm not a fan of the company as a consumer. A few years ago, they stopped offering good support for QuickBooks for desktop. They wanted everyone to have a subscription to QuickBooks Online. It was a significant price increase, and I think I can speak for most small business owners when I say that it was really annoying. We started looking for alternatives because we didn't want to deal with it, and the following year, we migrated our books over to Manager.io, which isn't quite as good as QuickBooks, but it was fine for our needs. So Intuit, at least as far as QuickBooks is concerned, they lost my business. I just want something where I can buy the software and use it on my computer. I don't want to have a subscription to everything online. I find it a bit annoying. And when you look at this profit growth, when you look at the revenue for Intuit, it looks incredible, all up and to the right. Again, as we said, the numbers look great. But you have to understand that this growth here, it is not primarily from increasing the number of users, increasing the number of people using Intuit products. And even when you have sticky products like QuickBooks, it's annoying to move the books of your small business over to some other product. So often it's just easier to stay in the QuickBooks ecosystem. But still, there comes a point you increase fees enough and you can't just keep on increasing revenue by 15% a year, primarily from fee increases. So even ignoring all the concerns about AI, that's something to keep in mind with Intuit here. Now, that doesn't mean that the investment is a no for me. Certainly, just looking at the numbers, last year, 16% revenue growth, 40% non-GAAP operating margin. Now, I will say non-GAAP for them is kind of a nonsense number because they add back in stock-based compensation into these numbers. For Intuit, stock-based compensation is massive, about $2 billion a year. So, that's about 10% of revenue just going to stock-based compensation for their employees. That is a massive number. And of course, I always adjust for stock-based compensation when I'm looking at things like free cash flow. That is a real expense to equity owners. So, if they're giving $2 billion away in stock-based compensation a year, but then they say, hey, we're going to do $2 billion of buybacks. Well, that just nets out. $2 billion of buybacks is roughly what you would have to do to not have dilution. But even still, taking the $2 billion in share-based compensation into account, they still have about a 7% free cash flow yield right now. If you add in that $2 billion, their free cash flow yield is going to be closer to 10%. But again, that's a nonsense number. 7%, that's what I think is fair. Right now, this company's trading about 17 times earnings, 14 times if you're looking at enterprise value to operating income, which is typically what I'm looking at for most businesses. And this does seem like a pretty cheap valuation. It's certainly one that's going to get me interested.
Especially considering their balance sheet is pretty good, not a ton of debt, extremely strong and consistent margins. I know I said that their 40% non-GAAP operating margin is a ridiculous number, basically a made-up nonsense number, but still, their actual GAAP operating margins are, over 25%. That's quite high. This is a very profitable business, asset-light business. Marginal costs are extremely low. It doesn't really cost Intuit anything for, one more small business to take on QuickBooks or one more person to download TurboTax. So they should benefit from scale, and the revenue, it's been decently sticky. I mean, as I said, they did lose me as a customer, but it takes effort to switch away from Intuit. So all things considered, a 14 times multiple on operating income really does not seem that expensive. I understand why people are seeing value here. Looking at their last earnings report, the numbers they released were pretty strong. I mean, they beat on the top and bottom lines. Their guidance is pretty good. They're guiding for about 13 to 14% growth on the top line for the full fiscal year. Roughly $16 in earnings per share. Again, you compare that to the current stock price, you're getting, 17, 18 times earnings for the stock. That's not too expensive, but it's not dirt cheap. And this brings me to a point about many of these software companies, which is, most of them, even though they've fallen so much, a lot of them, like when Intuit was trading at $800 a share, they were trading at really eye-popping valuations, 50 to 60 times earnings. I've spoken about this before when I did a video on the danger of quality companies. In that video, I talked about FICO and a bunch of other companies where, you look at the stock and imagine that you were sitting here at the end of 2021 and you were looking at Intuit stock. This stock chart would basically look like just the perfect picture, hockey stick up and to the right, quality business. You would look at the company and say it has high margins, the balance sheet is pretty decent, growth is pretty good, and you would conclude that this is a high quality company and this is the type of business that we should invest in. And the problem is that it's very difficult to assess risk by just looking at a stock chart. It's difficult to assess risk just looking at, the current metrics that I just named. To anyone who says, why look at deep value? Why try to find deeply undervalued companies when you could just invest in high quality businesses? To anyone who says that, I would say, if you truly can find a high quality business that people are going to agree is a high quality business 10 years from now, 20 years from now, then great, you'll probably do very well. But I think it's easy to fool ourselves into thinking that just because a business is high quality today, that it will be a quality business for many, many years to come. Nowadays, now that Intuit stock has been more than cut in half, everyone is talking about the risks. But when this was around $800 a share, people are just talking about how amazing of a business it is. And it really is no different with the mega cap companies either. I mean, it's not too long ago where Google stock, you just have to go back a few years and people were saying, how Google has tons of problems. The majority of the profitability is coming from search, and the future of that 10 years down the road is really unclear. When a stock is at its low, everyone is talking about risks, and when a stock is hitting its high, everyone is talking about all the amazing things to come and how great the business is. That's the danger of quality. When the story turns, you can be cut in half or more. And when you're starting with a sky-high valuation, you can like Intuit, drop 60, 65% and still not even appear that dirt cheap. So with all that said, what do I think is the future of QuickBooks, is the future of TurboTax? Because that's really the question here. That is the future of Intuit as a company. I do have a concern that rules-based software like accounting software, tax software is probably the most likely to be disrupted by something like AI. But at the same time, there are pretty high switching costs. TurboTax integrates with almost all these financial institutions. Also, you can bring in last year's TurboTax return. It makes it really easy, and that's going to make their revenue stickier year over year, even if, the US government actually offers a way to just do your taxes for free. But if it's just simpler with TurboTax, I think there's going to be a role for that. What I wrote on Discord a couple months ago is, I would probably need to see Intuit get down closer to 12 times operating income before I'd be interested in the stock. And honestly, now at about 14 times operating income, we are kind of getting close to that point. I think for me, we're probably still not quite there yet. Again, I might be biased because I just don't really love the company. So for some people, they might be willing to pay a higher price. If we're just going down to our forecast here, seeing what we could expect for a return on our investment in Intuit stock, you see, I put in about 10% revenue growth every year for the next 5 years. That is a slight slowdown from where they've been. They're forecasting about 13 to 14% growth on the top line this year. But I think over the next 5 years, that is likely to come down a little bit. I don't think they can keep pushing through aggressive cost increases every year. Operating margins, I kept them pretty high. And if you give this company a 15 times multiple, then you're looking at about 13% annualized return every year for 5 years. That's about 80-ish% return on your money over 5 years' time. That's not bad. If these assumptions come true, that very likely is a market-beating return. If, on the other hand, that top-line revenue growth goes, 12, 10, and then it slows down to, maybe just growing with inflation, this is the case where their prices come under a ton of pressure because the AI bear thesis actually does come to play out. Their margins end up getting squeezed a little bit and they have to come down to, more like that 20% operating margin. I'll keep their adjusted free cash flow margin basically just about the number to represent the buybacks that they're doing. And then if I give them a multiple similar to maybe a company like Adobe right now, like an 11 times multiple, all of a sudden you have no return on your money over 5 years. If, on the other hand, they keep growing 12% every single year for 5 years, the margins stay pretty strong and they trade at, a 20-ish times multiple, then you're looking at 21% annualized return. If you give them a 25 times multiple, well, now you're looking at roughly a triple on your money over 5 years. So overall, I think the risk reward of Intuit, I think it's decent right now. I understand why people like it. It's just not quite cheap enough for me. As I said, if I'm going to buy into this company, a company I'm not really a fan of, I'm going to want a very cheap valuation. 12 times operating income would imply, about $240 a share. There definitely is a price at which I would want to buy this company. But as always, if you got value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to grab my Google Sheets template here or join my Discord, then link to that will be down below. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, leave that down in a comment below. And I hope to see you all in another video.